Are you here, Michael? And then we have our quote for the day from Ryzen. And then the tech tip would be coming from Joel. I think Joel also is going to be doing the recap. Perfect. All right. Um, just want to check if Michael is here. Are you here, Michael? Make a noise. Paramdam ka. Charot.
Yes po, nandito.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Michael. Give me 1 second. Let me just hit record.
Recording in progress.
All right, Michael, take it away.
Hello po, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
For our opening prayer, um, let's feel the presence of the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, thankful for this opportunity to gather, learn, and grow together. As we begin this session and preparing for US taxation, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. Bless Chris, our speaker and mentor, that he may share his knowledge clearly and effectively. May his insight empower us to better understand the complexities of taxation and use this learning to serve others with integrity and excellence. Lord, bless each participant here today. Open our minds to comprehend, our hearts to learn with humility, and our hands to apply what we gain with honesty and diligence. Grant us focus and patience throughout this session, and let the next 2 hours be fruitful, productive, and inspiring. We entrust this time into your hand, blessing that with your grace, all of our efforts will bear good results. We ask all this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. One of the fresh face. At least I think it's my first time to see you, Michael. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, next, let's hear it from Bryson for quote of the day. Go ahead, Bryson. Or is Bryson ready? If not, we can go and have Joel first for the tech tip and the recap. Do you want to go ahead, Joel?
Hello, good evening, Chris. Good
Good
evening,
evening. How are you doing?
BAs. I'm fine. Thank you. Hope everyone is fine also. So, in the meantime, um, my tech tip is accidentally I explored this tip because as I do the practice set of um, individual tax preparation, one of the participants or the audience ask, is it advisable to encode the text in all capital letters and not in small letters or uh, sentence case? And Kelly Jones, as an experienced tax preparer, answered that it is advisable since Kelly Jones experienced one of his clients who preferred all capital letters. And yes, normally we also prefer all caps because of its uniformity and clean, clean, mm, clean visuals. And when I try to do practice sets, I found that all the or most of the um, given data are in Excel or in Word format, and not and also not in the all caps. They are provided in sentence case, like the regular case, not all capitals. And so in Word format, uh, we can directly change the word from the text from lowercase to uppercase. But in Excel, uh, we cannot do it directly. Currently, Excel has no feature just like that, but there is a formula. Um, which is can I share my screen?
I was going to ask you to share your screen.
Yeah. This will be my first time to share my screen. Is it sharing already?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
And now we can see it.
I am sharing a tax organizer. Is it a tax organizer you're
Yeah,
seeing
that's what we're seeing now.
or no?
We are seeing
Tax
it.
organizer, yeah. So this is the tax organizer of Richard spoke, and this is the original data that is provided, and this one in column E. Uh, this is the with the formula. So just use this formula and follow.
Mhm.
Use the open and close parentheses and go to the source. And then, for example, okay, so we have now the uppercase of the data. And then just drag the first one so that the rest will follow. It will be copied on the other rows. But this one still have the formula. And what I did is I copied again, but this time there will be no formula. So this should be, you copy this and paste here. You choose or you paste the values only. So why? Because sometimes when we need to input long strings of text, like this the address in the ProConnect, we need to encode by the street name first here, and then on the other box will be on the separate box will be the state and the city. So it is better to do like this. It is faster to encode. And so that's it. But take note that in the dates, it is not applicable because it will give you a different output. So better delete this one and just go to the original source, and you
Mm.
can type it manually. Uh, this uh, this tech tip is useful if you are in a hurry and if you want to eliminate or reduce typing errors, because sometimes you want to do the manual typing into ProConnect because maybe we want to be a fast we want to be fast in typing. We want to improve our typing speed, but along the way we will encounter errors due to manual typing. So if you want to type it or encode it with minimum errors, you better choose a copy and paste, and also using this tech tip. So I guess that's all for this tech tip. Thank you
Thank you.
for listening.
Thank you, Joel.
If you have any
Appreciate
question
that.
or clarification, yeah,
Thank
I
you,
will
Joel.
stop sharing now.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's helpful. Definitely when you're um encoding something in a tax software and you notice that when you're reviewing the prior year return, the way that it was inputted were all in caps. Just follow that um, format for consistency. Some firms don't like at one point tax returns are all in caps and others are informal style. So if again you see that prior years have been encoded in all caps, just follow it. Just do the same. Thank you, Joel. I see some hands raised. Angie, do you want to say something?
Yes, Chris. First of all, thank you for that, Joel. Just an addition, Chris. I'm working on a tax software, Lizard, and there's an option there where we can like override that we can all the text will be uppercase, so we can also do that. Yeah,
Right.
you can also
Oh,
see
that's
that
good.
in the miscellaneous in Lizard it is in miscellaneous information. So then there's text style, then equals one mixed case, then the other one is two for uppercase. So but if a software doesn't have that, so the tech tip of Joel is very good.
Right. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing that. Yeah, that's in Lacert. And if you're using a different software, not necessarily Lacert, just try to check if they have the same feature. So it doesn't take so much of your time having to convert, um, you know, different format of text in Excel into all caps format, just like what Joel showed us. Thank you, Andre. JB, do you want to say something? You're on mute, JB.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chris, and nice
Mhm.
presentation to Joel. Am I coming through okay?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
good.
Can I request Joel to show again his presentation? I would just like to share another tip on the presentation presented by Joel. If that's fine with you, Joel.
Okay, So I will share again, okay?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Is this okay?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's great. In the field shown by Joel, normally the fields are separated with the names and the family name and the zip codes. So another technique that I would like to show Joel and everyone is how to separate those items using an equals right or equals left sign. So an example would probably be on the address. If say we would like
Address.
to, yeah, can you go to M5,
M or
Mama 5,
Yeah, cell M5.
cell M5.
here?
Yeah, that's right. You can
M5.
type in equal sign and
Okay.
say right, the word right, RIGHT.
Okay.
And then we would like to return the zip code of that address, which is 30906. So all
So
you
what
need
should
to
I type?
do is type quotation left quotation mark.
Quotation.
Yeah, that's right. And then type in um
Oh,
I5
sorry.
on it. In that quotation, type in I5, right, quote, quotation mark, and then
So,
right.
After
Don't
right,
open
sorry again.
parentheses.
after right, I think it's in instead of
It's
quotation, is it in
it's a,
parentheses?
it's
Open.
close, yes. That's right. Left
Okay.
Okay, parentheses.
parenthesis.
And then
And then inside that
inside
parenthesis, yes, um, type I5. That is
I.
where you typed the address, right? 30109
Okay.
Grand Care, okay. Comma,
Comma.
yes.
And then
And type in
space
one,
or what?
two, three, four, five. The letter 5.
No, is that the number
Number
one, two, three,
5.
four, five?
No, 5. Only the number 5.
5.
And
Yeah.
enter.
Enter.
That gives you the
Uh-huh.
zip code. So it shortens, you only need to copy that particular item and then change it to text. So that when you transfer it to your field in ProConnect or whatever um, system you're using to capture those items, it will be copied as a text. And then you can do the same if you do left or middle, but that would be probably be a topic for another discussion.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
yeah, just sharing.
Yeah.
I hope
Thank
that
you,
also
JB.
helps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
that's very
others. Yeah.
sorry, Joel, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe some participants can use it as their tech tip next time.
Yeah. But that's very helpful. The left or the right, there's even mid formula that picks whatever contents you have in a particular cell. So yeah, at least we learned two things today: the upper formula and then the right, left, or mid formula. Thank you, JB, and thank you, Joel, and thank you, Andre. Before we go with
Thank
the
you.
recap, Joel, I think Bryson is already here. Bryson, do you want to go ahead and present your quote for the day? You can unshare, Joel.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Let's see. Bryson's not here. I think I saw his name earlier. Are you having some issues with your connection, Bryson? Let us know in the chat. Otherwise, we can continue with the recap. Joel, do you want to do it now?
Okay.
All right.
For the recap of our session yesterday, day 4 of business tax preparation. First, Anna shared a quote of the quote for the day, saying, in this world, nothing is certain but death and taxes." Uh, that was from Benjamin Franklin. She basically, Anna basically said that tax profession is here to stay, despite the presence of artificial intelligence or AI, as explained by Anna. And in connection with this, uh, Chris with an H, our very own coach Chris, also added that tax preparers will never go out of style, or we never go out of style. He quoted it from the song of Taylor Swift. Chris also mentioned Juno, an AI tool that can be integrated to ProConnect or any tax prep software. So this Juno primarily is to be used to speed up data entry with a high level of accuracy and to boost productivity. And then Nora shared a tech tip regarding the use of Google Sheets, but will be resumed or rescheduled next time due to internet connection issues. And then the Kahoot quiz followed with Matt, who was the top one. And generally, in overall top on the first top one, uh, since the first day of this session. And then after the Kahoot quiz, the principle of conservatism was discussed. Principle of conservatism in the absence of clarity, because this was asked by one of our participants. I think it was Chris with CRIS only, or Crystalline, as she said. So this was raised by Chris as she was uh, browsing the Gleim material, and she was confused. So this was regarding the conservatism or principle of conservatism, and it was explained well by our coach Chris. And then next, Cherry presented on how to input a rental on ProConnect involving Schedule E. This is very interesting material to explore, no, as a practice set. It involves Schedule E. It also involves mortgage and other expenses. Actually, this was an assignment from the previous previous day, an assignment. And then next, on the Gleim, we continued with the study unit number 3, which is a loss limitations for rental property. And Chris highlighted the limit for deduction, which is the 25,000, and then the 100 to 150 phase out. And then the next is the study unit number 4, business expenses, which is to be continued also due to internet connection, I guess. And then the next, there was an announcement on keeping exam by Kahoot on Saturday at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. will lead to internship of the lucky ones. So that's all. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate you. And I think we have Bryson now. He had internet problem earlier. So yeah, thank you guys for giving Joel big hands. So Bryson, now's your time to shine.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me good?
Good evening. Go ahead.
Yes. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen yet?
Yes,
Or
it's about to show. Right, we can see it now.
good evening again, everyone. I'd like to share a quote that really inspires. And this quote is the very best proof that something can be done is that others have done it by Bertrand Russell. This quote reminds us that when we see others achieving something.
We cannot hear you, Bryson.
Yeah, it's not too clear.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Can you start over, Bryson, para lang ma-capture natin yung best moment mo sharing your quote.
Okay, okay.
Sure.
So this quote is
Yeah, that's
the
better.
very best proof that something can be done is that others have done it. This quote reminds us that when we see others achieving something, whether it's mastering a skill, reaching a goal, or overcoming a challenge, it's living proof that it's possible. Their success shows us that barrier isn't the task itself, but our belief that we can do it too. Sometimes we doubt ourselves, thinking that it's too hard or I could never do that. But this quote tells us otherwise. If someone else has done it, then it's achievable. It just takes learning, persistence, and effort. In a way, it challenges us to turn inspiration into action. Instead of saying, I can't, we can start asking, how can I? So, whenever we feel unsure or discouraged, look at those who've already succeeded. Let's take uh, Chris as an example. So, let's make him as our proof that it's not impossible. It's just waiting for our turn. So, thank you.
Very well said, Bryson. I love that quote. And I want to add something, but I'm holding off from saying because it's just very fitting, that you share that quote, that the very best proof that something can be done is that others have done it, right? Because the next share that I will introduce to you guys is someone who has done it, right? She has a good news for us that she will share with us. I've known her in the community for the past few months. I think she's one of the pioneer in the in BA, and yeah, she's got some good news for us because again, she's the living proof that if you persevere and if you really want it, you can become it, right? So without further ado, I hope she's ready. I'll call and let's give a warm welcome to Minerves. Minerves, take it away.
Yes po, good evening. Good evening. Good
Evening.
evening, Chris. Good evening, everyone. So, yes, today, luckily I was hired as a tax preparer. Uh, in the in in Georgia. So, yeah, it's my first time become a virtual assistant. So, malaki po talagang factor yung optimize sa portfolio. So I submit my portfolio. Actually, I make it more, maybe 1 month trial trial and error version. So, and then I explain also about the Form 1040, how paano naging refund, paano naging overpayment. So, hindi naman lahat totally. May mga sinasite lang ako ng mga forms. So, ang ano po noon is, talaga, 50-50. Yung familiarity ng forms and navigation sa software. So, nag-training po ako. Actually, napo-frustrate ako one time kasi I have, nag-message siya sa onlinejob.ph, and then my interview ako 6 a.m. in the morning. Then I woke up at 4 a.m. and then yung internet ko nawala. So yun. Tapos siya yung nag-adjust sa akin. So nireschedule niya yung supposed to be na postpone naming interview. So I think 7 p.m. dito sa atin. Then pumunta ako sa SM para bumili ng broadband, kaso hindi talaga kinaya. So na-reschedule na naman. Tapos hindi bumalik. Sabi niya sa akin na mag-antay siya kung kailan babalik yung wifi. So it takes 1 week. So hindi ako nag-follow up, hindi na rin ako kasi nahiya ako. So yun lang pala yung mali ko na hindi ako nag-ano. Then luckily may nag-email siya sa akin na I am isa ako sa mga nakasali sa training, 2 weeks training. So yun po, sa training nung first hindi ako nakasali kasi late ko na siya nabasa. Start ng training is 8 a.m. Nasa borderless accountant ako. So, I think 9 yung natapos. So, nag-attend ako, which is kinabukasan na Tuesday. Then, yun, inano sa akin yung software, yung mga tax documents, and then, ang natutunan ko naman doon is about how to make preparer's notes. And also the missing documents na, di ba, yung taxpayer is may mga dependents na, di ba, dapat natin is head of household. Pero pag incomplete yung documents niya, hindi natin siya pwedeng i-head of household. Kailangan may last documents na i-head of household natin yung taxpayer. So, yun din po yung natutunan ko sa training na yun. Then, kanina, so yung tinanong sa akin is, what is my strength? So, ang strength ko is, I am resourceful, I know what can I do, and I know when to communicate. Tapos, yun lang din. Then, may tanong siya sa akin na about ano yung natutunan ko kasi 'di ba it's my first time. Hindi ko sinabi na it's my first time and I want to venture a tax prep. So sinasite ko yung flow ng 1040. Medyo mahaba siya kaya pinapa-stop niya ako. Medyo pinano ko, sige, okay, then yun. Nag-ano na siya sa akin na bibigyan na niya ako ng access Saturday night sa kanila 8 a.m. sa atin. So maybe sa Sunday na yung bibigyan niya ako ng access. And then, yun po, and i-share ko na lang din po na need talaga na yung sa tax documents, you need to familiar po talaga. And then, meron din kasing isa doon na, ano ba yun? Wait. Doon sa tinanong ko siya kasi if pag pag distribution kasi, di ba, ano yun, ginamit sa medical expense is not taxable. So, I asked them, pag hindi kasi siya, may iba kasing approach yung software. So, walang mga code doon. So, I told them that, bakit, pag hindi ko siya ilalagay, which is taxable siya, pag ilalagay ko doon sa, doon sa software, ano yun, pag ilalagay ko siya, wala siyang taxable, wala siyang tax. So, inas ko yun siya. So, yun, plus point ko yun. Tapos, nung nag-exam ako kailan ba yun? Saturday. Nag-exam ako last Saturday. Akala ko nga bagsak ako kasi nagkamali ako sa isa lang, actually dalawa. Pero sa tax software, I put it single kasi yung yung taxpayer wala siyang ma-prove na na 'di ba pag head of household kailangan kang mag submit ng documents na you're paying above 50% of the expenses of the dependents. So I put it single. Then ang mali ko lang kasi there's a remarks, kailangan meron doon sa Google Sheets na nilagay na prepares notes, remarks, ano yung nakikita mong documents na kulang. Hindi ko siya nalagay na single, pero nilagay ko sa tax software which is single. So I told them na it's lacking of documents, we need to reach out the taxpayer na para maging head of household siya. So yun lang yung in-input ko. Dapat nilagay ko pala is maglagay muna ako ng single, partially single muna. So pag nasubmit na ng taxpayer, dapat pag nasubmit ng taxpayer yung missing document, saka ko siya i-change na head of household. And then isa pa, may isang sinubmit yung taxpayer, kaso yung birth certificate ng dependents niya is void. So which is mali ko. Hindi ko siya napansin. So yun lang naman, sa all of my input naman is tama. Yun lang yung naano sa akin. Kaya mahalaga talaga to titingnan yung tax documents na minsan din yung sa client intake, may nakalagay doon, and then yung mga sinubmit na documents minsan magkaiba. Tapos kailangan mo siyang titingnan yung documents na sinubmit plus yung client intake or yung tax organizer. So yun lang po. And then i-share ko din po yung ano ba yun? Yung portfolio ko na yung comment niya is naamay siya. So let me share my screen po for a while.
Sure.
Sobrang optimized kasi ng profile mo, Miss Minerve. So happy for you. Congrats.
Thank you. Nakita niyo na po?
Yeah.
Yes! Happy for you, dear.
So ito po yung ginawa ko. And then this one. Next. This one, wag niyo na lang tingnan yung video dyan. Tapos dito lang tayo this one, the sample taxpayer. So, ito siyang ginawa ko. Then, pag i-click mo yung form, may 23 tax return and the client intake, which is the tax organizer. Then, tapos itong 2024 documents na sinubmit ng taxpayer. So, this one po, yung mga kinuha ko doon, yung kay sample na, yung sample na ginawa natin during the 1040. Yes, 1040. Tapos, ini-edit ko lang siya, pinapalitan ko at tas dinadagdagan ko. So, pag i-click mo siya, this one po. Yeah. So, mga ilang pages to? 4 pages. And then, pagbalik mo dito yung client intake or yung tax organizer. So, 11 pages lang siya. So, then, submit ng taxpayer. So, lahat po yung inedit ko. Kaya matrabaho. Tapos, and then, so yung isang taxpayer na sample ko, in-input ko siya sa 3 software. Sa ProConnect. Then, i-click mo yung folder, pinapaklik ko yung folder, then nandoon yung attachment ng return ng sa taxpayer using ProConnect. So, yun po. Then, dito naman sa Drake, so 38 pages siya. Tapos sa this one sa tax layer. Tapos ang ginawa ko dito, yung ProConnect at saka Drake, same sila ng ano matawag nito? Yung result ng nila, yung result ng tax return niya. Yung sa dito naman, this one. Dito naman, iba. So, sinadya ko siyang ibahin para pag what if magtanong yung interviewer, may maisasagot ako. So, ang ginawa ko is isang mali lang na pag-input ng tax return. So, doon sa business, ang ginamit ko simplified method dito sa sa tax layer, sa Drake at sa ProConnect naman, which is the actual expense. So, sa business use of home. So, malaki yung difference talaga if magkaiba, hindi mo ina-analyze yung mga tax documents. So, yun lang po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, Miner, for sharing that. Yeah, you definitely have a really good portfolio right there. Yeah, can we just give Minerva a big round of applause? That's amazing. And I'm impressed with your portfolio as well. Maybe one of these days, maybe on a Saturday and Sunday, if you're not busy, Minerva, you can show everyone a tutorial and you can share your experience in a more extensive manner. Let's talk offline and then let's make that announcement to the team later. But again, thank you so much for sharing that, and huge congratulations to you. You know, hard work really pays off, and you're
Thank
one of
you.
those. You're one of those consistent na nag-attend ng live. So, like, I felt it in my bones. It was just a matter of time for you to get a client. Ikaw yung mga isa sa mga nakikita ko talaga my hunger. And aside from Minerve, we also have Russell, who's already working as a tax preparer. She's on Shawnee's team as well. So Minerve is a second person in our second member in Shawnee's team to get hired. And then I know we have Glenn as well and Luz. So later on, I will send you guys a link. I would want to create another GC's a Telegram for only those already that are tax practitioners already. So I'd like to connect with you guys. And Minerve will talk as to how we could possibly arrange for you to share with everybody how you develop that wonderful portfolio, if that's okay with you.
Yes po, it's okay for me.
All right. Thank you, Minerves, again. I appreciate
Welcome
you
po.
sharing your milestone in life. And I'm glad that we're part of it, or we could be part of it. And thank you so very much. Right. Time check 7:45. We're done with prayer lead tech tip, quote for the day recap. Some announcements. Guys, I had put in the notes or resources a link to a consultation. If you guys want to talk to me about anything, a consultation for a potential client, career advice, or anything like that, questions that you cannot ask publicly in the chat or in during the class because I don't know for whatever reason, there is a paid consultation link that I click there. It's paid because I will have to spend time with you on a separate occasion. So if you're thinking of a direct communication with me, I think this is an hour consultation. So you know where to go. That's in the notes or resources section. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to our quiz. This is going to be short, guys. So be ready. I'll send the link in the chat right about now. And then the code would be 2892606. I'm also going to share my screen right about now. There. So you can take your phone and use the QR code. Pasting the same in the chat. All right, 67 are in. All right, I guess we can start. Others, you can still join. Good luck, guys. AGI starts at 100K. Senate coming on top. What is essential for supporting tax deductions? Is it verbal agreements, or recall, informal notes, or accurate documentation? Everybody got it right. Accurate documentation. Good job. All right, I'm seeing familiar names on the board. Which income can passive losses offset? Is it capital gains, active income, passive income, or all income? Okay, it's only passive income. Right, Mark taking the lead spot. Next, which form reports business activities losses? Is it Schedule B, Schedule E, Schedule C, or Schedule F? This question kind of misleading too, because this could also be Schedule E and Schedule F. But the best answer was Schedule C. Wow, Chris leading the spot. Cherry coming on the second. Who is an example used to illustrate rental tax strategies? I mentioned this guy to you yesterday, guys. Full name dapat. Who was an example used to illustrate rental tax strategy? We're talking about a person here. Popular person. Very popular. Or not popular, maybe saying that. So not Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. Only 8 got the correct answer. Why was that? Come on, guys.
Hindi ako nakasagot.
Good job sa walong nakasagot. That means you were there. You were really listening. Amazing. Shauna May is coming on top now. What happens to disallowed rental expenses? Is it lost forever? Is it deducted immediately? Is it refunded, or is it carried over? So answer is, it is carried over to the following tax year. Right. Mills is gaining traction. What is the depreciation period for residential rental property? I mentioned it yesterday, guys. So this is a number of years, okay? Answer is...
Ang hirap naman mag-drug.
Answer is 27 and a half, okay? 39 years kapag commercial. 28 got the correct answer. Good job. Yeah, Shauna May's keeping the lead. Cherry sumahabol. Mary Chris on third spot. Good job. Active participation allows loss deduction up to, is it 50K, 25K, 10K, or...
Naghang na ako.
Answer is only up to $25,000. Right. Cherry now on the lead. Good job, Cherry. What is required for salaries to be deductible? Is it reasonable compensation? Is it no documentation? Does it have to be high amount, or does it need to be irregular payment? Right, it has to be reasonable. Right. Oh, no change. Keeping the lead, guys. 10 out of 13. So multi-select. Losses from rental real estate are limited by some multiple check though. So answer is all three. But not all of the above. All right, Cherry, good job. Which expense must be allocated between rental and personal use? Is it property tax? Is it home insurance? Is it utilities, or is it mortgage interest? That's the example Tony Cherry yesterday. Is mortgage interest. All right, Chris G is nangunguna now. Shauna is coming back. True or false? Excess business loss rules affect deductible losses. Answer is true. It does affect the deductible losses. Right. Mel is now leading at 4th place. And last question. What must business expenses be to qualify for deduction? Is it optional and flexible? Is it expensive and rare? Is it unusual and complex? Or is it ordinary and necessary? It needs to be ordinary and necessary. Good job. 72 of you got the correct answer. Amazing. Chris G now it just took the spot. Good
What?
job, Chris. Second place si Lani, and
Nagha
third Tracy. Mary Chris.
naghang pa yung computer ko sa lagay na yan, ah.
Paano pa pag hindi, ano? Galing-galing. Right, so let us update our top scorer monitoring sheet. So 10, 24, 2025, we have a new name in the name of Chris. Chris G. Diba? Chris G, good job. Galing-galing. All right. How's everyone doing? Was it a fun exercise?
It's really fun.
Oo nga.
Nakasama na ako sa top 3 sa wakas.
Dream come true ba, Mary Chris?
Dream come true. Grabe, exciting.
I know the feeling. Congratulations. And sa iba, meron maraming chance, okay? Dapat magkaroon tayo ng ang tawag doon? Fifth consecutive na first place for 5 straight days, Hall of Famer, right? So far, Matt is showing some potential kasi naka 2 out of 4 siya. Mel is also very consistent. I can see Mel on the top 5 almost on a daily basis. So, guys, the way to do it is be 100% present, right? Because everything that is going to be on the quiz is everything that's been discussed during the session. All right. Are we good? Everyone's good? Tingnan natin yung mga reactions niyo. Nagkamali ako sa mortgage. Oo nga, Cherry eh. Namali ang pindot. And that was what you highlighted yesterday. Anyway, so today, we'll cover muna ProConnect. So everyone here, hopefully meron na kayong mga ProConnect na access. Let me just switch my screen. Kasi pag sinare ko yung isa kong screen sa inyo, maliliit na yung font kasi napaka-wide ng screen nito. So let me switch over to the first screen and then share my entire screen. So sa mga may ProConnect na account, you can follow along or you can just watch the recording on how or you can just follow the recording on the activity that we're going to be doing today. Okay, so if you guys are already familiar with ProConnect, this is how it looks like, correct? Hopefully this is not the first time you're seeing ProConnect. So it's very easy to create one or create an account. Just make sure you have a valid email and a phone number. So let me just get my code, 582884. So I'm going to show you how to share access to your clients or dummy clients. Because you would need this if you're working in a team, for example, or you want someone to review your work, then you just need to provide that someone an access, okay? So maybe Cherry, if you can follow along, I'd like you to share with me, if you don't mind, the sample client that you were working yesterday, because we would want to use that example for the loss limitation that we just tackled yesterday on
Sure.
rental. So the
Sure,
way
I'll
that
install
you
that.
guys can share access to anybody na may ProConnect account or kahit nga may wala pang ProConnect, you can access it and that person na walang ProConnect account can get prompted to create one. Okay, so whenever you're here, just click on the gear icon for the settings and then click here, manage and invite users. Right, so what you do is you add user and then just type in the first name, the last name, and their email, because that's where the person will get the notification. And in terms of assigning the role, you don't want to do any tax roles because it's going to ask you to make a payment, right? You don't want to do that. So what you can do is, excuse me, give any access between standard all access, standard no access, or just between the two. Either is good, right? So like put standard all access. And then if you want to give that person a specific access to a client, you make sure that you click here, edit client access, and then put a tick mark on that client. So for example, I'm giving, let's say, Kelly, Joan, Hano, an access and whatever his email is, maybe like that. And then I can give him access to John or to this client, and then I will send an invite. Okay, so that's how it would look like. I mean, that's how it would look like if you're giving someone access. And then Cherry, if you can do one thing for me, if you can give me access to, again, the client that you were working yesterday, and then use this email address, support@borderlessaccountant.com, so we can share with everybody how it works whenever you're given access by somebody else. All right.
Do I need to share my screen?
You can if you would like to. I'll stop sharing now. Then once I have your invite, I will share my screen again, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, we can.
All right, so in the gear, right?
Yeah. Then manage and invite users.
Manage. Where is it?
To your right.
Here. Okay.
And then you want to go farther right, add user. Yeah.
What will I put your name, Chris?
Yeah, that should be okay.
Then the email is support, right? Support.
Or lessaccountant.com. Without an S.
Okay.
Yes.
Support at borderlessaccountant.com. Okay.
Yeah. And then click on edit client access. So which client was it that you?
The test client. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
And then send invite.
Where's the save?
No, just send the invite. Bottom right.
Oh, wait, because I will nakaharang tong Zoom.
Okay.
It's here.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. And now let me share my screen. I should go to email.
Sure.
Thank you, Jerry. So once you receive a confirmation, so it's going to look like this, right? You would get notified that you're invited to join Prime Tax Business Solutions. What you do is just accept that firm invite. Hit continue. If you're not logged on, then it's going to ask you to log on. I'm just going to send a code. So later on, when we have exercises, we can use this feature so that you can ask someone in the community to review your work to make sure that it's accurate. So I'm not getting the code. Let's see. That works. All right. Now I can see that I'm working with Prime Task Business Solutions and it's no longer Borderless Accountants. Okay. And for this firm, which Sherry owns, I am working with this client test. So if Cherry would give me more access to clients, then I can see them here. If it happens that Cherry, I'm already done with the work, and Cherry would want me to cease to have no longer access to client tests, then she can remove me by just going to that manage. Sorry, here I can't do it here because this is not my firm, right? I'm accessing Prime Task Business Solution as say a tax preparer, for example. But what I can do is I can make changes on this return. Right, so let me just go and check the tax return that Cherry prepared so far. So there's pretty much nothing in here except for the rental income, and it's 0. So nothing shows up in the 1040 because it's 0. So it should show up here, additional income from Schedule 1, line 10. But because there's 0, there's nothing that's coming up there. Right now, because I have access to this, I can make changes, right? So if I make changes, say for example, I change the income from 10,000 to maybe 15,000. When I do that, I will be incurring, or I'll be generating income, right? So now your 1040, if you show the form view, you now have here 5,000, right? And if you go to your Schedule 1, Schedule 1 would show rental real estate from these entities or from these schedules. So 5,000, where did that 5,000 come from? It's from your 15,000 less your 10,000 deductions. Your net income is 5,000. Okay. Now, let's apply yesterday's lessons. So say, for example, we're generating a loss, right? So we'll go back to our Schedule E, and instead of 10,000, let's make it 5,000. So 5,000. And we'll check the return. Right. So Schedule E is now showing 5,000. Right. 5,000, but you cannot use that 5,000. So see your 1040. It says 5,000 in here, but you have no income, right? No income, so it's of no use. But once you start generating income, say for example, let's input a W-2 income here. So let's just come up with a dummy EIN number and just put whatever name in here there. And then just put whatever name of the employer, ABC company, for example. Then you want to go to wages. So for example, this taxpayer has earned 50,000 in wages. Let's not put anything else there. The others will be auto-populated. So if you go to your check return, that 5,000 of passive loss is going to help this taxpayer lower his taxable income, right? So his adjusted gross income is now at 45,000. Why? Because that's 50,000 in wages minus 5,000 in Schedule E losses, right? Now let's apply the loss limitations. Okay, so if ever we had, say for example, our wages was 115,000. 115,000. Ano ba filing status ni taxpayer?
Single risk.
Single to. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. So let's see. MFJ ata yung ano eh, yung 100 to 115 na AGI. But let's see. 5,000 pa din yung deduction niya. Right, let's make it 125. Can you check how much is the phase out for single taxpayers? Right, 100. Let's change this to MFJ. So client information. And then let's do merit filing jointly. faster. Bakit hindi nag-apply ang ating passive loss? Schedule E. Tingnan natin yung was the active schedule E. Let's try 150 or 160. If di pa rin nag-workout yung face out, something is wrong. So let's say 160, diba? The face out na to dapat eh. Right, something is really wrong. So we know that the taxpayer has 160K of income, right? And the face out amount is between 100 to 150. And the income is 160. Why is the rental income still, or is rental loss still at 5,000? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's try this. Rental E, rental income. Kasi lower than 25,000. Let's try a loss of income statement here. And this is, let's say, 75,000. No, let's do 5. And then let's say there was a depreciation of, can we overwrite here? No, let's just make up some numbers. Mortgage of, let's say, 50K. Let's see what happens. So the loss should be more than 25. Right, so your loss is at 45K. And in your 1040, how much was allowed? 45K then. Are you kidding me? Something is off sa schedule E. So, did you make any 20? No. Did we say he's a real estate professional? Did you put something in the input section, Cherry, that this was a real estate professional?
I think I don't tick mark any.
Okay. Property information. What else has been tick marked?
Hi, Chris.
Let's talk.
Yeah, the phase out that you were referring to earlier, is that for the wage? Because in 2024, I checked on it, it starts at 191 rather than 150.
For 2024, they have changed it.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's confirm that. It's the phase out amount.
That's for single filer.
What is the AGI phase out range for Schedule E rental? Massive rental losses, both single and MFJ filers. Right, so MFJ still 150. Sorry, let's make this 2024. For both single and married filers, the phase out begins at a modified adjusted gross income of 100K. I don't know what were you looking at, JB, but it says here 100 still to 100 to 150 pa din. Did we search the same thing?
Yeah, yes, because I shared it in the chat box.
Let's see. Yeah, 100, 150. So yun nga, 100 to 150, right? I don't know. Did I misheard you saying 190? JB?
Yeah, I said 190 earlier because that was for QBI. But since we're talking about rental losses pala, so yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Okay. I was wondering why. Do you guys have any idea why it's not coming up? There's something wrong here. We've already changed the status, right? So, information, MFJ. Let's see. Wala namang ibang inputs.
Chris, how much is our Maggie again?
It is, in this example, and it's already wrong because I should not be seeing a 45 loss here. So
Yes, because I think we should lower the Maggie. I think we can try like 120 because we have a what you call this, the allowed 25,000 deduction.
correct. But look at this. This is 45. The entire amount was deducted.
And we will also multiply it by 50%. So if the Maggie is 160 and you less the threshold of 100,000, that would be 60,000 excess, and you multiply it by 50%, that would be 30,000 already, and the allowed deduction is up to 25 only.
Yeah, but
So 25 minus 30, it's negative. Let's try lessening the Maggie, the income.
yeah, it should not affect it. I mean, the Maggie should not impact. You know what I would do is log out muna ako
Or
dito.
just lessen the
Log out muna ako dyan, guys. I did some exercise here already. Something is off with the test account, but we can figure it out later, Cherry. getting a number. Let's just switch to another example. I have one prepared already. Just so you don't get confused. All right. So see this, I've switched to my own account. So now I'm seeing that it's Borderless Accountants. So let's try this. Okay. Let's check this. I use this. All right, we can try this. Let's see. Or let me switch to my personal account. I may have used another one. And while you're also at it, if you have second screen, why don't you try replicating what I do and play around with your Schedule E and your W-2. Six.
Chris, are you sharing your screen na yung ano lang, list of returns or ano?
Sorry, say that again.
You're sharing the screen of options lang of the input returns? Or are you sharing?
Not yet. I'm gonna share another one because I was
Okay.
working on my second screen. Because I remember I worked on it earlier today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this one. Sorry. I used my other email. Test.
Chris, I have a question.
Yes, po.
Um, the one earlier, my client, the test client, yung pinapalabas mo ba is it should offset the loss?
The loss should offset the
Yeah,
the
because from what I read, the passive loss should be offset by passive income. So W2 is an active income, I think.
correct. But yun nga, the passive loss limitation of 25K, that could help offset a W2 income up to
Yes, for
25K.
yes.
Yeah. So and that's my other passive pa.
Like investment, we can try it.
Correct. So we can try first a W2. So say for example, now I have a how much was the W2 I have here? So let's say for example, I have 100,000. 100,000 of income, and then I have $2,000 in passive loss from rental. So you see, I have a W2 of 100K, and then I have a passive loss of 2,000 from my Schedule E. You see here. So my income was 3,000. My deductions were 5,000. So I have 2,000 of loss, right? So that 2,000 is fully offset against my 100K of income. So now I have a taxable income of 98. Okay. Now let's take, for example, I have 125 of salaries. All right. So this is just a test of the phase out, just so it stays in your memory. So 125 still 2,000. Right. Let's see. If our income is 160. So 160, we're no longer getting the 2,000 deductions because we're fully phased out, right? And if you go to 8582, that's where your 2,000 is carried forward for the following year. There is a computation, right? Let's try to see if we have more than 25,000 in losses. So if you go to Schedule E again, and let's make it 50K. No, let's make it 10K. And then let's make it maybe 55K. And then let's take our wages back to 100K. Right, so 100K of income. You only have the loss deduction of 25,000, right? And then let's apply our phase out. If we say this is 125. So 125, we only get half of the loss, right? Instead of 25K, we get half. That computation should be in 8582. See? So 45,000 in losses. You're 100 or you're 25K above the phase out. And then that's 50%. So that's half of the 25K limitation. And then if we say excuse me, we have a 60K here. So we would lose that entire 25K. Excuse me. So see, your entire 25K of passive loss is gone. Just go back to 8582 for the calculation. And
Bless you.
thank you. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been having
Chris, can I see your Schedule E,
sure.
the information? Does it have the number of personal use and business days?
Meron naman. Number of days rented for personal 10. What I actually think of bakit nag ano yun, nadidak lahat. Could be this one. Real estate professional.
Di ba dapat
Pipilit na
14?
kasi.
14 yung minimum? 14 days para may portion siya as personal?
Oo. Yan. Ano ko lang yan. Example ko lang yan. So if
Kaya
you
siguro niya dinidak lahat kasi hindi siya umabot ng 14.
I don't think so. There really was something wrong there. I thought nga ito naka-click tong real estate professional. Kapag net-click niyang real estate professional, see what happens. Lahat ng loss madideduct. Kasi hindi na to passive. It's no lang pag real estate professional yung taxpayer, hindi na siya passive. Pero tinignan ko kay Cherry, hindi naman to nakatick. I don't know if it's a system glitch. But that should apply, guys. Just try to play around. What you can do from your end is enter any amount in Schedule E and then play around with your wages. Kasi tingnan nyo, remove ko yung tick mark for real estate professional. It's going to be completely phased out again. Right, so I don't see 45K loss anymore. So the premise of that is that was based on the material that we watched yesterday, right? Wherein if there is a passive rental loss and the taxpayer has an income below the phase out amount or phase out range, then the entire the taxpayer can deduct up to 25,000, not the entire amount, just the limit amount of 25,000. And that's why I also mentioned yesterday to Donald Trump, right? Because Donald Trump is one of those who are registered before the state as a real estate professional. So when you're a real estate professional, the entire loss of your rental property will be deducted against all your other income. So that's why when I I showed you the Schedule E, I tick mark this portion here, real estate professional, and that entire 45,000 was offset against the W-2 income. And for you guys who are doing bookkeeping, because alam ko may niche ang real estate bookkeeping, you want to make sure to ask your client if they are considered to be real estate professional. Yung real estate professional, like they're devoted, all of the entire time is devoted as a real estate practitioner. Like for example, yung mga real estate broker, yung mga real estate yung nagpaparenta na yun lang yung life nila. Yun yung source of income nila. So they are considered to be real estate practitioner. And they're allowed to deduct 100% of their loss against all their other income. Is there a test drive in PerConnect just like UBO? It's not just a test drive, Aya. It is PerConnect. You can do whatever you do, just like a test drive. So to answer your question is yes. It's like a test drive. So it's free, but you can upgrade your subscription. And by the way, you cannot file from ProConnect because it's going to require you EFIN. So EFIN registration, only people with social security number will get an EFIN. So hindi tayo pwede doon. So the only time we can file a tax return, e-file a tax return from ProConnect is if we have an EFIN. So that means tie up tayo ng firm sa US or we know someone in the US na may EFIN. So what happens if a taxpayer is a part-time real estate professional? I think dapat full-time kay. So hindi ka qualified. Yung 25 lang yung qualified ka, JB. But don't quote me on that. Just because I think there's a separate material for real estate practitioner in Glein. And we can cover that maybe later. But for now, clear naman sa inyo, no? Cherry, just go back to that test account. There must be something that was ticked. That's why the entire amount, I think the software is considering that taxpayer is a real estate practitioner.
Hi, Chris. I think I already got the answer.
What was
Because
it?
the expense was in mortgage, I put it in the other utility expense, and yeah, it captured
Update.
the threshold, yes.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, that's the premise, guys. Ha? Tandaan nyo lang, don't overcomplicate things. The few things you need to remember from this exercise is that the 25,000 limit, right? The 25,000 limit in Schedule E can be taken 100% by the taxpayer if they're within or if they're below the phase out amount. If they're above the phase out amount, then they would not get even a single dollar in deduction. And it happened to me when I was new. The taxpayer was expecting a refund because nga my real estate lost sila. And then, because that's what happened last year as well. But in that particular year, it happened that they had a huge W-2 income. So they did not get any deduction from their rental losses. And hindi ko pa alam to. Hindi pa naman ako nag-aaral ng EA before. So I had a hard time figuring it out. So it turns out, meron ngang limitation kapag beyond the threshold amount na yung income nila. And the reason for that, or the reason why the client was surprised, is because nga, prior year, nakakuha sila ng deduction. And how come daw that year, wala man lang, hindi niya nakita yung deduction niya at all. Kasi pang titingnan lang naman ni taxpayer, guys, when they're reviewing their tax return, is this. Ito lang tinitingnan nila. Okay? Itong first 2 pages. So ito lang titingnan nila. So at that time, what the client was looking for was this line. Wala siyang nakita, as in 0. And she was surprised. Like, how come I don't have a deduction here when I know I have a rental loss? Right? And syempre, hindi naman nila alam yung mga tax laws. So you have to explain it to them. And this is one thing that's good to know because it happens a lot. A lot of, again, taxpayers are invested in real estate properties. JV, you got to say something?
So, if we have a client, Chris, who is a real estate professional, during the collation of the tax organizer, we need to ask something to make sure that he is indeed a real estate tax professional, right?
Correct. So,
and what do we look for? Is there an ID for a tax professional?
in experience, hindi naman. You just need to ask that question. If they say yes, then you take their word for it that they are indeed a tax real estate practitioner.
Also, I asked earlier about part-time because I remember for educators, you need to be serving this number of year teaching to be considered as an educator. I was thinking that's the same for tax professional, but it probably might not be.
Meron yan, I think 750 hours, if I recall it right. So, check nyo na lang to.
Okay.
What are the requirements to be considered as real estate practitioner? Meron tong maraming conditions eh. Or di naman ganun kadami. But may certain number of hours as real estate practitioners in by the IRS and enables taxpayer to take 100% loss on real estate activities. And while that's loading, Arnold, do you have a question?
Hi, Chris. Nakita ko lang doon sa competition mo that if above the 150 phase out,
Mhm.
hindi na siya deductible pero carried over, but the whole amount, no? Hindi yung 25.
Yeah, the whole amount. If
The whole 45.
above the phase out, yes.
So may benefit pa rin pala, no? Kung
Correct.
hindi siya na ano.
Di naman na lost yan.
Yeah, at least the whole amount yung madidak natin the following year.
Correct. Dito sa 8582. Kaya very
Yes,
important
45,
you
yeah.
look at the 8582 because it tells you how much was the carryover, how much was the unallowed loss. See, unallowed loss 45K. And that will be carried forward to the next year. So when you're
What will happen if the same pa rin or mag-phase out pa rin siya the 25 kung within the 100 to 150 25 pa rin yung niya.
It will be carried forward again. So I think there's an indefinite period of unallowed carryover losses.
Okay,
We can check on that. But to answer your question, JB, these are the requirements for you to be considered, or for a taxpayer to be considered as a real estate practitioner. So the taxpayer must perform more than 50% of their personal services in real property trades or business in which they materially participate. This is known as 50% test. Another test is a taxpayer must perform more than 750 hours of services during the taxpayer in real property trades or business in which they materially participate. This is a 750-hour test. So I have encountered this wherein hindi alam ng taxpayer kung she can be considered as a real estate practitioner. I just provide him this information. And then sabi niya, I spend more than 107 I spent more than 750 hours managing the rental property. Then I told her, then we can claim you as a real estate practitioner. So yeah, we don't need to get like IDs or anything like that. Hindi mo kailangang mag-aral ng real estate management, Bachelor of Science in Real Estate Management, and maging certified broker or whatnot. But that helps if you have a license that proves that you are a practitioner. But as far as our requirement doing tax preparation, we don't do that. Yeah, Anita.
Yes, good evening, Chris. I just have a question. Halimbawa, yun bang real estate practitioner, siya rin ba yung real estate agent?
Yeah, real estate agents can be practitioners.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Developers, brokers, yan yung primary source of living nila ay related to real estate. How long can unallowed passive losses from rental be carried forward? I think it's indefinitely, but we can confirm.
A follow-up to yung doon sa filing ng phase out na yun. What if, say for example, the couple will opt to file separately? Ano ang effect doon sa gross income nila in relation to the phase out?
Good question. I think kahit single ka, it's still the same. Kasi single or married filing jointly, it's the same. And technically, if you are MFS or married filing separately, you're considered in the eyes of the IRS as filing single. So try natin. We can.
Kasi yung 160 na income nila halimbawa split yun.
Yeah, it still applies. The taxpayer's income would be considered still as if he is filing single. So if the 160 is split between the two, that's 80K. And if the rental income or rental loss was still 45K because the property rented was solely owned by the spouse, for example, then that spouse will get 100% of the 25K.
Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay.
So tingnan natin dito. Indefinite carry forward nga. So indefinite carry forward, according to IRS rules and multiple sources, passive losses that are disallowed in a given year, referred to as a suspended losses, do not expire and can be carried forward forever. So may forever. Charet. Cherry, you wanna say something? Or are we good? Anita?
Yes, Grace. To answer Anita's question earlier, if it is married filing separately, so I did search it earlier. The thresholds, it would be divided by 2. So the threshold would be between 50,000 to 75, and then the limit, the phase out would be 50,000.
Ganun.
Let's see.
Yeah, because for the single HOH and married filing jointly is 100 to 150, but if you filed separately, it's like you will divide it into half. So 50 to 75 is the range, and then the phase out is 50. That's what I searched from Perplexity and ChatGPT.
Yeah, but also a lot of factor of that is, that's why when you input an income, let's say for example on the Schedule E here, sorry, Schedule E, you have to identify for which income that belong to. It could be the taxpayers, the spouse, or joint, right? So you have to specify that here, so that if it's just the taxpayers income, see how much is this, 10K, right? And then 45K losses. We can try and see if the income is below, let's say 100, and we're filing separately. So he doesn't get a loss, right? Because I think what Perplexity gave you, Cherry, is right. So 50 ang threshold. Below 50 ang pwede siyang mag-claim, correct? So let's say 45. That's why one of the least preferable filing status is MFS, married filing separately. So yeah, 12,500. So the threshold is married filing separately, see instructions. So 75. Yeah, so iba yung threshold kapag married filing separately. I think the phased out amount is 75K. Let's see. So 12,500, and then 50 to 75. So pag 50, wala na siyang, or prorated na, 75 completely gone. Okay. So if this is 60, for example. Yeah, meron siyang 75. And just refer to 8582. Okay. I guess Time check 8:54. Meron pa bang questions, clarifications? Thank you, Cherry, for clarifying the MFS filer. I didn't know that. I'm just used to filing either single or MFJ. Bihira kayo makakakita ng MFS. It's very unfavored filing status because there's a lot of benefits that's lost. Like, for example, the earned income credit, you cannot get that credit if you're filing MFS. So if you encounter a taxpayer asking you for an opinion as to how best to file, last niyong i-recommend yung MFS, right? MFS lang kapag in the verge of divorce na sila, right? Pag divorce na, syempre may issues na yan. That's gonna be one instance na MFS would work. But again, one can do MFS, the other can do it, HOH. But yeah. Is there Kahoot tomorrow? I'm not sure. You can use the time allotted tomorrow, 7 to 9, to do whatever. Like team leads, if you can think of an activity, or maybe if Minerves can handle a meeting on Saturday and Sunday to show us that wonderful portfolio that she has, because you can try that too. I don't know, Minerves, if the firm that you're gonna be working for is gonna make you work for business returns as well. Or have you trained business returns somewhere else, Minerve? Because what I know is that Minerve has only been able to attend the individual tax prep for borderless accountants. Is there a Kahoot for today's session? I'm not sure. I'll think about it. Because today's session, first half, I think we spent it on Minerve and all the rest, and then the access for ProConnect. But I felt like it was a necessary thing for us to input things into ProConnect so that you do not just remember things, right? You know how things work. Kasi kung yung 25,000 na passive loss limitation, if we just let it slide, nag-continue lang tayo sa lesson natin sa GLAM, you may not be able to remember it, right? It may not make so much sense to you. Do you guys agree? So more than the theoretical concepts, it is, I think, more important, in fact, ang navigate and exploring how it actually really works in ProConnect. Because hindi naman tayo lahat dito mag-aaral because magte-take tayo ng EA exam. Lahat tayo halos dito nag-aaral because we will actually be working as a tax preparer, right? And lahat ng naman to is na-reinforce lang naman yan pag kayo ay nag-work na. Dami niyo matutunan when you're actually working. When things don't make sense, before asking questions to the reviewer or to the owner, you can actually check it out. Like yung kanina, bakit hindi nag-come up yung 45, bakit yung entire 45K ay nag-come up as a loss, right? When we know that it's only 25K, right? That's a classic example. Things can happen. And minsan may glitch talaga din yung system. Especially ganito online. There could be a case of you have to clear cash or something like that to get things to work properly. And that's also very important that you know, again, the why and not just the how. Because initially when I was doing tax prep, I learned so much of the how. Kasi manonood ka lang ng Loom video, input ka lang ng input, and after mo na input na lahat, sunod mo yung process, send mo yung return mo sa reviewer. And then you would learn because the reviewer will give you remarks of what you did wrong, what you did right, and stuff. But the entire thing, I had to learn it as I went along. Right? Kaya yung sa akin mabagal na yung 5 years na progression kasi it took me a while to take the EA exam then, like 2.5 years na ata ako in practice. So lahat ng mga whys halos natutunan ko na when I was reading, that's actually one reason why I took the EA exam kasi I felt like lahat ng ginagawa ko sa pagta-tax prep robotic lang, right? Like it's so procedural. Kung bakit hindi ko naintindihan tong ganito? Bakit hindi ko to alam yung ganito? So parang there was an emptiness in what I feel. Like I was already earning good amount of income, but a lot of what I know is really more of the inputs, the navigation of the software. Kaya kapag nagtatanong na yung taxpayer doon sa, kasi may access ka sa CRM, di ba? Nagtatanong na yung taxpayer doon sa CRM ng mga ganito, bakit ganito daw yung tax return niya, ganyan, ganyan. Hindi ko na siya maintindihan. Bakit siya nagtatanong ng ganito? But hindi ko siya ma-relate. You know what I mean? I cannot self-review my work. And there was a time when the owner was saying, Chris, I like the way you communicate. So maybe one of these days you will sit down with a client and review the tax return with a client. And I was like, really? I don't know. I don't know if I would ever have the confidence to do that. Kasi baka tanungin ako ng something na hindi ko alam. Right? And it happened. Ito, the classic example that I told you earlier na tinanong ako ng taxpayer bakit wala siyang loss deduction from the rental losses that they had for that year. And I didn't know. I had to research it. So what I'm saying, guys, is you're luckier than I am. So once you get to become a tax practitioner, I think that 1 to 2 years journey, mabilis yung progression ninyo. Because now, before pa man kayo nag-tax preparation, may why and how na kayo. Anyways, Anita, you wanna say something? Kasi time check 9:01 na tayo. Anita, you wanna say something?
For example, one is eyeing for the EA exam. Do you need to take the exam physically in the US or you can do it here in the Philippines?
There is no exam center in the Philippines. Do it in Korea, Japan, or India. And I don't know, Anita. You look like you're someone who just joined very recently. If you have questions on the enrolled agent exam, we had an extensive material on that on our YouTube channel. Go to the very first day of the individual tax prep course. I talked extensively about the enrolled agent exam there. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No worries. It's just that, in the interest of time, we need to get going. So 9:02, guys, thank you for joining us today. I hope may natutunan kayo. I hope that you will use that feature of sharing access in ProConnect so that you can get others to review your work, and then others also you can also get to review others work. And tumatak sa inyo yung 25K na passive loss limitation sa real estate loss, a rental loss. Okay. Having said that, we'll call on, was it Michael who led the prayer earlier? Michael, are you still here with us? And to answer your question, guys, I think we will have Kahoots na Monday. Because diba, we're looking for someone who can do 5 days in a row. Diba? So we cannot have 5 days in a row next week kung wala tayong Monday. So we will have Kahoots on Monday. If the coverage may be from day one. So just, by now you would have already remembered magaling na kayo sa mga schedules, right? Schedule B, Schedule D, Schedule C, Schedule F, Schedule E. Alam niyo na yun by heart. Diba? So I'm just waiting for Michael to see if he's here. Otherwise, I don't know who can close a prayer. May volunteer ba tayo? Otherwise, ikaw na naman, Aya, ang magiging voluntold. Dito ba si Aya? Si Aya. Tanong pa more, naging 5 days pa tuloy ang coverage for Kahoots. All right. May magka-close ba ng prayer, JB? Do you want to close the session with the prayer today?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Let's put ourselves in the presence of our mighty Father. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord God, we thank you for this night, the opportunity to get together and experience firsthand from each other, learning tax preparation and some of the concepts that we have learned for tonight and will learn in the days to come. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share our thoughts, how how we can be with one another and experience this night learning with each other. And we hope that in the future, most of us can also share this experience to the rest of the people who are not here with us today and who may be thinking of joining Borderless Accountant. In all this, we are thankful, and all this is an appreciation of your glory and your power, Lord. This we all ask in your name and to the Lord Almighty. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, JB.
Amen.
Thank you guys for tonight. I had fun and I hope you had a lot of learnings too. I'll see you guys on Monday, and then keep in touch in the chat in the GC. All right.
Do we have quiz tomorrow for the QBO? 4
Yep.
p.m.
Not sure if there's gonna be one because ang konti nang nag-certify eh. I'll announce in the GC.
Alright. Kasi hindi pa kami tapos mag-certify eh.
Sige lang.
Quiz,
pa po.
quiz 8 pa lang yung natapos ko.
If there's anything, it will be announced.
Maybe
Chris.
next Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thank
Chris.
you guys.
Love,
Have a good
Thank
love.
you.
night.
Please,
Have a
thank you,
great
guys.
weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Happy
Thanks,
weekend.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Bigayan.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Recording
Happy weekend,
stopped.
everybody.